Can you tell me your experience with the CBD?
Well, I received the CBDs from my brother Wayne, and that was against the end of May last year, or this year. I took them home. I started taking them here. I'm only doing about 10 drops a day. And I noticed after about probably 3 weeks that the varicose veins that I had on my left leg were starting to dissolve, and they weren't big and ugly anymore. They were just flat and kind of normal like the leg. And I noticed that the spider veins also were becoming very faint. Instead of really dark purple, they were just fading. I noticed that I had a lot, I just felt different. I felt a lot better. And I noticed that the cardio, I think that what the CBDs did for me was it worked on the cardiovascular part of my body. So it was just working on the heart and the arteries and the veins and capillary arteries and stuff like that, and just making everything healthy, and it was probably getting rid of some blockages too. That's what I was kind of figuring with the opening up of the varicose veins, because the veins they get clumped, right, with the blood, and it was kind of opening it up, and it was nice and soft again. It wasn't like little hard pieces and stuff like that, little clumps. Yeah, so it was pretty good. That's what I noticed. It was really working for me, was the cardiovascular end of it.
Different is it from other things you've taken before?
Well, I've taken a lot of other things for the varicose veins because I work in a health food store. And to be honest with you, I never noticed any difference with the stuff I was taking from the health food store with the varicose veins or the cardiovascular. Like even the lowering of, even the blood pressure was different too with the CBDs. But when I started taking the CBDs, I just noticed a whole lot of difference, and the way I felt, and the way my blood pressure was a lot better, and the way the veins were on my left leg. Just everything was a lot better for me, to do with the cardiovascular end of what was going on in my life is to do with the heart and the cardiovascular and nothing else right at the moment. And I think it even helped the immune system too, because I noticed that my immune system was a lot better too.
Who would you recommend it to?
I'd recommend it to a lot of different people. People that have cancer, people that probably have heart issues. I would definitely, diabetes, I would recommend it for that. And actually I had some blood sugar issues too, that's another thing. And after I started taking them, I did not have any issues with my blood sugars. That was another thing, now that we're talking about this.
In what form
Well,
did you have
I would
issues
get
before?
high blood sugars, right, at certain times of the day. And I would have to take cinnamon to bring it down. I never had to do that anymore when I was on the CBDs. Yeah, that was another thing for me.
So how long have you been on it?
Well, I was on it for, 2.5 months, I guess, and now I've been out of it, but I'm back on it again, so yeah, I'm glad I'm back on it.
When you ran
again.
out of it, did you notice anything?
Yeah, I did. I noticed everything was starting to come back again.
Oh.
Yeah. But, 2.5 months doesn't tell the whole story. I think when you have chronic issues, you have to be on it for quite a while, and then the body repairs itself, right? And then you'll eventually be able to lower the dosage probably to a maintenance.
Have you noticed any changes with your emotional nature?
When I was on the CBDs,
ask her husband.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a lot calmer. Yeah? Yeah, she was.
I did. I think I was. Now, I just had to think about it.
Because it seems to be slow, steady progress, so it's not maybe
It
not...
is, see, and I wasn't taking the recommended either, don't forget, right?
Right.
I was only taking the 10 drops a day.
Right, it's 1/3.
And I really believe that that you take it according to what works for you, because it does detox you. I did notice that. There is detox symptoms to the CBD, right? where you'd wake up and you'd be headachy and kind of like flu-like symptoms, right?
Yeah.
So then I'd back it off a little bit, because I started out with a little more than the 10 drops, and then I went down to the 10 drops, and I went down to 5 sometimes, and then back up to 10. So it just depended on how I felt that day, how many I would take, and it still worked. Like, I don't think you have to do 20 for it to work. I think everybody's body's different, and I think you have to figure out the dosage for yourself.
It's all about dosage.
It's all about
Life's
dosage,
about
right?
dosage.
Well, no, it is about
No, it
dosage,
is.
because everybody's
How much
body
can
is
you
different,
handle?
and
Everything.
some people
Yes.
might need 20, some people might
Women,
need 10, some people
it's
might
all
need
about
5,
dosage.
you know? And I think the idea of the CBDs is not to get into a real detox, because once you get into the real detox, then you're really not feeling well. You know, I think you need to back it off to where you're actually feeling good, but where the product is working, and you're noticing a difference.